Okay. So yeah, Eric, tell us about recession proof your practice, what's coming
Uh,
up right now.
yeah, I think we just don't know what is coming. It could be nothing. Could be election driven. It could be COVID driven. It could be just the fact that April was wide open for hygiene and therefore October is wide open for hygiene. And so I'm just curious what you guys and gals are doing for recession proofing your practice. How you're protecting your income. How are you going to cover your expenses? And obviously in these situations, cash is king. Number of patients and volume is really important, uh, and we got to make sure there's enough money at the left over at the end of the month. So, who has something they're doing right now that you've been through a recession, you've seen that before, and hey, if I had to do it over again, this is what I would have done.
Good question.
Well, I know what we're doing is we're just working our butts off and trying to get some money in the bank,
Yeah.
so we can, because I don't know what's going to happen in October. We've got some some of our slots filled. We've been working on it, and we'll have a meeting tomorrow and see how we're doing on that. But um, yeah, I don't know. Just keep working as hard as we can. That's all I know.
And storing that cash. I think what goes along with that is not overspending too, not buying large equipment, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, I guess. Depends
Yeah.
on.
I mean, we spent so much money on PPE and these, suction devices. Now we need to, I don't think many people have their eyes on a, pan-ceph machine right now, or, a brand new chair just because, obviously if you need it, you
Oh,
need
I
it.
just bought one.
There you go.
Hobbs, so what'd you buy, Hobbs? What'd you buy?
A Cable Cur CBCT.
All right.
All
And
right.
does that come with HD TV, or what does that do?
Hey, it does everything for me.
Well, actually, I will say this. Why don't you talk about the iTero for a moment? Because I think that with billing out diagnostic casts to close Invisalign cases has been amazing. That's a huge recession proof for your practice. Tell us about that.
So the iTero, you can do two things with it. Obviously, three things. Sorry, three things.
Okay, we can do
You can take scans for Invisalign, right? You can take scans and bill it as a D0470, and about 50% of the time it's paid, and you can write off the rest. But you'll get paid $120 per scan, and if it doesn't pay, it doesn't matter. And then the third thing you can do, you can scan and send it to labs and you can send it directly from the scanner. So for instance, Glidewell, we only use it for doing the comfort guards. So or whitening trays, sorry. And then we'll scan and it'll email it directly from the machine right to them and with the instructions, and you don't have to do anything else. So it saves a lot of time and shipping costs and things like that for impressions. And you can also use it for, if labs take this, for crowns and bridges and things like that. But our lab is a local lab and he doesn't like them. He likes impressions better.
Yeah.
So there's some income from there. And for instance, it's like, if you get it, there's a new one out. Sorry, there's a brand new one out too that has the ability to see decay, I think inapproximately, if I remember correctly. So it's got an infrared or some kind of light that shines in and has a detector to detect decay. It's kind of like there's one from that does the occlusal decay. I can't remember the name of the handheld.
And you,
Like
yeah,
the canary?
Diagadent.
yeah.
Is it like the canary?
Diagadent, yeah. It's so we have a Diagadent too, but this is something we don't have that on our iTero. They gave us the option to upgrade the wand. The computer stays the same, but we didn't go with it yet. We decided to go with the CBCT instead, and we bought the virus killers too, the air purifiers.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right.
So
That's good.
but
Yeah,
other
I
than
think
that,
100%. You're allowed to this year 100% for equipment get a tax deduction, right?
yeah. And we got, so there's a lot of companies doing really good low interest loans too. So we just ended up getting loans on all these things.
So the iTero, what does the loan payment end up being on that?
So it's a 0%, and it ended up being for 2 iTeros, $1,000 a month.
You bought 2?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, I bought them before this whole COVID thing
Yeah,
started.
1 for each office. So basically for $500 a month, I could have an iTero machine, and I got to get 5 diagnostic casts a month covered to pay for it.
Easy.
And if for those that are doing Invisalign, how does it help with the before and after of Invisalign?
Oof. I think it's incredible. I don't know who else has one, but it's a game changer for Invisalign.
Yeah, Dr. Heron, who's not here right now, I actually talked to you on the phone before I had him get his because of you and what you said. And his assistant has used iTero and done a lot of ortho in another office. And closing cases, they're going to do an Invisalign day, and they're going to use the iTero to do the before and after. And so it just is amazing what it can do for case acceptance, and it far outweighs and pays.
Really good. Yeah, our case acceptance went up for sure.
Yeah.
There's
the boss.
Hey, Karen. Good to see you.
So I don't know who out there is looking to do Invisalign, but man, iTero seems to be for $500 a month. What's the length of that loan, Ihab?
This one we took on a 5-year note. So
okay, but at no interest.
No interest, no. Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
I even got the upgrade option. I think it was no interest, and it was a really good deal too. But we didn't go with it because we already have the Diagadent, and so we didn't just decided not to do it.
Yeah, got it. Anybody else have an iTero?
I thought somebody else.
I've got an old one.
Yeah. Yep.
Ancient one.
Yeah, like what? A year?
No. It's pretty old. We're trying to figure out how to get rid of it.
Maybe they'll do a trade.
They might. We'll check with them.
Might do a trade.
Yeah. How many Invisalign cases a month would you say you do, Dr. Johnson?
Oh, we don't do much.
Yeah.
We do 1 or 2 every 6 months.
Gotcha.
Or maybe a little more than that, but we're not doing much of that.
Yeah. Are you able to do before and after simulation with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say go for it. It's a no if you don't ask, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're already doing Invisalign, to me, it seems like such a no-brainer.
So one of our things, Eric, we do it automatically. We do it just with every new patient.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of our like taking an FMX, and they'll do a scan. It'll take them like 5-6 minutes to take a scan, the hygienist.
Yeah.
And if the patient is not a new patient, we just, in the cycle when they're not getting an FMX, they'll get one of those. Yeah.
Now, how many Invisalign cases would you say you guys are starting? I know you have 2 offices, but 2 locations, but in one location, what would you say in Nassau? What would you say is the Nashua? What is the starts per month for Invisalign? So for Invisalign, maybe like 4 a month, 5 a month, something like that. And what's your fee? That was pre-COVID. Sorry. And then, sure. Now it's tricky now. We've gotten a couple of cases, and we haven't fully gone into doing the scans for every new patient. The reason why is because of all the hygienists not back yet. So hopefully October 5th, we'll have everything back. Hygienists will have everybody back hygiene-wise. Team-wise, yeah. And then we just moved Amy to be the hygiene coordinator. So she's going to push all hygienists in both locations to do the scans. And our hygienists are all going to be the new hygienists, not younger, but the new ones. Yep. Our other hygienists are ones had a baby and then we had several that can't come back because of you can't find daycare. If you're starting 4 cases a month at $5,000 a month, that's $20,000. That's a great way to recession-proof your practice. All right. Oh yeah. All right. So let's see, Dr. Pierre, what are you guys doing to, or have you done in the past to recession-proof your practice besides, kick Delta out and?
I would say that we're following the thing of working our butts off, like Dr. Watson said.
Yeah.
But
You guys are busy.
actually, right now, things are going very, very well. We have a little, in terms of finances, as Paula knows,
Yeah.
we're overly stressed in the office with the start of the new practice. You know, it's self-serving, but whether it's DenVantage or a membership plan, I believe every practice has to have a membership plan. It's
great.
During COVID, we were closed. I got a check for $21,000. You know, it's so that's been a huge one, because patients don't call me and say, you know, my car broke down, I can't come in, because they've already paid for it, so they're coming in. So it's tremendously cut no-shows, and it's amazing how much it increases case acceptance. So that would be the biggest thing that we've done. Other than that, we are reaching into, Paula and I talked, was that yesterday, Paula, or the day before? I can't even remember now.
Last Friday?
Okay.
Day before would be Sunday.
We came up with some ideas about the problems of October and November.
Yeah.
Because we are a little bit light. We just, unfortunately, one of our hygienists is moving. So we just lost one. Yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I'd like to pull those ideas up and talk about that for a minute. And you hit right on the head what I was going to say about membership plans, because this is the time of year to promote your membership plan more than any other. Why? Because businesses are beginning to roll out their benefit plans for next year. They usually have their benefit fairs in October, and we want to teach our patients, call us before you sign. That's a good clickbait. Social media, Google ad, call us before you sign up. And also, are you losing money on your dental plan? That's another headline, question mark, because a lot of people didn't get to maximize their benefits this year, not being able to come in. So I'll share my screen for just a second and talk about a few of these ideas for fill fall. That's my theme. How are we going to fill fall, right? And so here's a few ideas. Research your entire database, not just your recare list, because we're finding a lot of people have, if you have Dentrix, use your practice statistics report. If you have EagleSoft, use your patient analysis report. You'll find a lot of people who aren't even in hygiene. Maybe they came in, we call them one and dones. They came in for an emergency and they didn't get plugged in hygiene, so they don't even have a recare date. So CPR is not the chest pumping CPR. It's raising the dead, meaning reactivating. I just don't like purging charts and reactivation. I call it CPR because we're raising the dead. So we have verbal skills for that. We don't want to be calling. I've got some teams right now, lots of new team members. They're calling and saying, you're past due, would you like to schedule? That's not a motivator. Most people aren't motivated by that. That's an easy no. Right, Eric?
Yeah.
So we also want to consider maybe a new patient day. Maybe you don't bring a lot of new patients in through hygiene. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you don't have a lot of restorative one day, and so you just bring in a lot of new patients through hygiene and you just do new patient exams all day. I've had some teams do that with success. They close a lot of treatment. You're not running back and forth to restorative. You're focusing on the new patient. The hygienist and the doctor can do the new patient exam together. That's a very powerful comp exam when you're able to do that. I've had teams do an implant day, and I'll just go through these quickly. If you want more information, let me know. But I've had a couple of teams do implant days that were very successful. So you're offering a special off of the comp exam, the x-rays, and maybe $500 off their case if they schedule that day. And of course you can preheat your existing patients, do a promo with it. It can be a huge success. And Implant Direct, this was one of their ideas, and they were offering a deal on the implants if you did an implant day. So that might be an idea. Co-marketing with an area business. What does that mean? That means you go to a restaurant, a nail salon, something like that, massage, and you say, we want to promote you on our social media. What special can we offer? Well, Bobby Joe's restaurant is offering a free piece of their chocolate pie that they're famous for. And we can put up on our social media the next 10 patients who call to schedule their hygiene visit are going to get a free slice of Bobby Joe's chocolate pie. So that's co-marketing idea, cost you nothing. Use it, lose it, save it, which is where I was going with the membership plan. Perfect time of year. Most of you already do this. Some of you have done it and forgotten that you used to do this. It's a great time to rekindle that campaign of use your benefits before the end of the year or lose them. You might have an HSA or a flex account that you've got money sitting there you need to use. The save it is join our membership plan. Now, I had a doctor today who is starting a membership plan light for patients who come to his practice who have insurance, but they're out of network. So they're going to charge like $10 a month for that and a couple of perks. So I mentioned this to the DinVantage, couple of the DinVantage guys. I don't know if that's an option, but they want to try it and see what's going to happen with that. Then you've got, now I ran a report for one practice. They had 600 people due in December and 17 people due in October. So if you, it's not ideal to move people forward, but if they're twice a year on their insurance, if they have it, if they're a membership plan member, bring them forward. We want to make room for those college kids who are going to be coming home. And we usually have a shorter month in December and November because of the holidays. So there could be opportunity to pull a few of those people forward if we have to. And also, I have several teams who are doing an incentive, a game. You count how many openings you have, put up a chart. Here's what we started with. Here's how many we have today. Dr. Watson, you're doing this.
Say what? Oh, yes. Yes, we are.
Tell us what you're doing with this.
Oh, and the filling the openings for October, November.
Mm-hmm.
We're for everyone that we slot, we fill. We're putting $5 into our annual shopping spree pot. So we keep track of the numbers filled and also the dollars.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just another little game to play.
Another game to play, and the teams love that. So, you know, if you need more explanation or something, let us know. But I thought I'd just run through these real quick. And you're right on track, Dave. DinVantage is pretty awesome. You have a lot of flexibility with how you create your plan, right?
Yes, basically you can do whatever you want. When you talk about the out-of-network plan, the one thing that you have to be careful of is you have to charge the insurance company what you actually charge the patient.
Yeah, usually you're exactly right about that. On line 35, I believe it is, on the dental claim, you put that you gave the patient a discount. You're supposed to be doing that anyway. If you give anybody a discount that has insurance, you have to write on there what they actually paid or the discount that was given in that narrative box. So
now the one interpretation thing, if you're comfortable with it, is to say that I charge full fee, they pay $10 for the discount. And if the insurance company wants to pay for that, they can get it too.
Yeah.
So you really didn't give them a discount, they bought.
That's true. That's true. Yes.
But it's one of those questionable things, and we found it to be a little bit hard on the paperwork, and we've stayed away from combining insurance. And
I always had that narrative I would copy and paste and put in the claim. I only had one insurance call me about it, and they were just trying to make sure the patient wasn't making money on the deal.
Okay.
You know, that was our main concern. I don't know. So
Nobody's
a cool
allowed to make
idea.
money on the
Like-
deal but the insurance company.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the implant day, Paula, you can do an Invisalign day. That would be great. You know,
Oh, yeah.
anybody, hygiene, whatever can take
We've done a
impressions.
couple of Invisalign events ourselves
Yeah.
already. Yeah,
Yeah.
they work really nice.
Those are great. Yeah, you got to build up some marketing time. But look, October could potentially be open. So think about if you normally only see new patients on the doctor side, but you got new patient surplus calling, put them on the hygiene side because they're going to have more availability than you. So you're removing friction. We talk about that all the time. Remove the perception of
Love
friction.
that.
Make it easy for them to come in and be your patient. Don't make them wait. They don't want to wait 2 or 3 months.
Exactly right.
I have a question. How do you promote DenVantage again? We started it, but we haven't got too far with it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Dave,
for it, Dave.
You want to
Yeah.
take that on?
Bill, I'd be happy to go over that more with you. The key thing to DenVantage is to get the whole team on board with it. So if you haven't already done so, talk to Meg about more training for your team. But the biggest times to get a patient to sign up for a membership plan is 2 times. One is when you're presenting a treatment plan, or 2 is a new patient. Those are the two golden moments, if you will.
So
I had a patient in just today, and she's going to be an advanced perio patient, and I said to her, I transferred it to my assistant. She took care of it, but she said that if you want to, you can join DenVantage now, and the complete series of X-rays, we're basically almost going to be paying you to join. But the beauty of that is, once they've done that, now she's going to accept the big treatment because she's part of DenVantage, and that's why it really works. So the whole team involved. Every time you have a new patient, almost any time you do an FMX, it's a great opportunity to present it because it becomes a no-brainer for the patient.
Do you ever show them? Sorry, Dave.
Go ahead, Eric.
Well, I was gonna say, do you ever show them this is UCR treatment plan, this is DenVantage treatment plan? If you're on, do you ever compare the two?
We do every time. Every time we put out a treatment plan, we have what it would be without DenVantage and what it will be with DenVantage.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's interesting, the only thing they start looking and say, well, what's the catch? Well, no, there is no catch. It's just it's a win-win. The win for us is the patients don't miss their appointments, and they pay their accounts, and they accept a far more treatment. The win for the patient is they save money, but they save money because they're saving me money. And then over time, you actually can increase your fees. So if you have 10% of your patients on DenVantage and you're giving 10% off, if you increase your fees to all your patients 1%, you paid for it.
Yeah.
So you're giving away nothing.
Yeah, 5% if you want. Yeah.
If all you're doing is
Just
rewarding your best patients.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So just quickly, so for those who know, don't know, what is DenVantage, Dave? Just a quick explanation.
What happened is we set up a membership plan in our office, and it got so popular and so big that it took us too much time to administer it. So we created a web-based program to administer the in-house membership plan. And once we had that, we figured we had something that could help all dentists. So basically, it's an idiot-proof, complete program to incorporate a membership plan within your office.
And it works.
Yeah.
It works too.
Yeah.
But
So
Bill, you're just
for
getting
non-insured
started.
patients.
and-
Yeah.
So
Like-
question, how does the pricing go, for instance, for the patient?
That is up to you, how you set that up. Most dentists give a monthly fee that's just slightly less than what it would be for their routine care. I give
For
a
the
little
whole
bit
year,
more of a
yeah.
discount on the or a benefit for patients that come in 3 or 4 times a year, because actually when you're paying by the month, they're paying monthly whether they come in or not. If they have to cancel or change an appointment, now they're a month late, they paid an extra month. So it balances out, so you can give a bigger benefit to them. and
So
and
the
it
monthly.
motivate them to stay on target.
So David, what's the
So
monthly?
what we found is
approximately?
8 to 12% is about all you have to give towards your restorative treatment to create something that patients perceive as a real benefit.
So what we do, Ihab, we take your annual hygiene fee, so 150 and 250, $400 or whatever. Let's say it's 360 for math, right? And we just divide that by 12. It's $30 a month. And so we just charge the patient $30 a month. Their hygiene's covered, but they also get 10% off of doctor services. So when I show them a treatment plan at $1,000, now I'm gonna show a treatment plan for $900, and they go, "Wow, what's the catch?" There is no catch.
Yeah,
You know?
we,
But like what
so we
Dave's
have
saying is we've already done a 5% fee increase. Yeah.
So we have our
members.
own internal one for healthy patients, one for perio patients, and one for children.
Kids. Yep.
Yeah, and
same thing.
we don't charge monthly. We charge them a flat annual fee. We used to charge monthly, but we don't do that anymore.
I can answer that a little bit if you like.
Go for it, Dave. Yeah, yearly versus monthly. Yeah,
the big thing about the difference between annually and monthly is when you do it annually, now you have to go back to them every year to get them to re-sign up. And when they do, they're going to re-sign up. They're due in February. Well, I'll get to it, yes. And they finally re-sign up in April. Now you've missed 2 months of payment.
2 or 3 months, yeah.
If you do it, and if annually, let's say it's $30 a month, so that's $360 a year for that. So you're charging $360 a year. The next year it goes up to $380. That becomes, the patient says, wow, it went up. But if you're charging $30 a month, the next year it went up to $31.40. Oh, but that's nothing. I can do that.
Ehub, just think of it like DVC, right? It's a monthly payment.
Yeah. So I used to charge monthly for the first 2 years, and people, what they do, they'd sign up, come in for the FMX, the cleaning exam, comp exam, and they would drop out.
Yeah, we have answered that. They sign a contract that says when they sign up at first, it's a 12-month contract, and they're responsible for the full 12 months. If they cancel in the first 12 months, then they owe the full fee of all the dental care that they've received.
Yeah, we
actually they pay that.
Rarely, but it almost never happens.
You can also have a registration fee that helps cover initially.
Yeah. So the upfront fee has changed our office dramatically for people without insurance.
Yes.
We actually changed our perio one to be very different. I don't know what the perio plan is with the Denvantage, but our perio plan is $349 up front, and then the first perio cleaning, perio maintenance is $60, second perio maintenance is $60, third perio maintenance is $150, fourth perio maintenance is $150. So we're collecting about $700, I want to say $50 if I remember correctly. So, every patient that's perio accepts it, takes that plan usually.
Yeah, and look, here's why we're recession proofing. We're hearing, Paula and I are hearing this all over the country. I need to cancel Paula, I need to cancel my cleaning visit. I'm not going back to work. I retired. I don't have insurance anymore.
Yeah.
And we need to have a plan in place for those patients to retain that appointment. And so Denvantage, whatever it is, you can do your own in-office. What I love about Denvantage is it's a monthly rate. They take care of all of it for you. What's, Dave, you might say is like $3.50 a patient. Is that about right?
Just $3 a patient.
$3 a patient.
And there's no cost to set it up.
Yeah, so $3 per patient. That only who signs up. It's not like I'm paying if people don't sign up, and all of it's taken out. Now I just get a bulk payment once a month, and it's so much easier to manage. I don't have to run all the credit cards, blah blah blah. Legal work's taken care of. So if you're not doing it, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's great for patients who are losing their insurance coming up. If there is going to be this recession and people aren't going back to work like we've been seeing, it's a great option to have, right, Paula? It
is, and you can target. I recommend you do this anyway. Target patients who are 60 to 65, look at your birthdays in your computer, run a filter, and start talking to them now about what are you going to do about your dental when you retire, because they sign up for Delta on AARP and it's yuck. Yeah.
But that membership plan you're using with the perio you're doing a great job too. if you want to look at the Advantage, great, but at least you have one and you're doing a great job with it and you see the benefit, and that's fantastic.
Yeah. And patients, what we're creating is loyalty, right, Dave? So they're coming in for that. So, all right. Let's see. I don't know, Dr. Paz, are you there? Can you talk to us about what you're doing to recession-proof your practice?
You might be cooking.
Hola, está señor Paz? En la cocina?
Hola.
All right. Well, Chitra, are you there?
She told me she was cooking.
Yes.
Hey, there she is. All right. Awesome. Do you have any ideas, Chitra, on what you're doing in your practice right now to get more patients in, to protect your practice from any sort of cliff we're approaching here come October?
I have started going through the database. Like Paula said, CPR is what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Started to look at continuing care for patients without appointment. I have a membership plan. I'm a little shocked. I feel like I charge peanuts for some of the things that, my membership plan is at $2.99.
Yeah.
And my hygiene patients are like an hour long, and I'm an insurance-based practice, so I'm kind of struggling with some of that. But October and November have been almost like I don't have any patients in there, so have to really start getting into more training, getting to getting into the database at this point, really.
Yeah, database is important. Doing that research and calling up and say, hey, doctor asked me to call, right, Eric?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can put on a fake voice and do it yourself if you like, but.
No, my accent gets me. People know who I am.
Dr. Allgood asked me to give you a call. Make sure you're from Dr. Allgood's office.
Only if you actually work there.
Right. And we
Dr.
have missed you, and how are you doing? And the last time you were here, you had a lot of bleeding on the upper right, or you had a lot of sensitivity. How are you feeling? Are you experiencing any symptoms from that? The New York Times says more and more people have cracked teeth right now. I put that up on my page and got a lot of comments that yes, we're seeing more and more. One of my friends at church Sunday said, how do I stop clenching? What do I do? I'm like, you need to see your dentist. I had 3 cracked teeth in the same area from doing that, and I didn't realize I was doing it. So you go condition-based, relationship-based, and then you say, doesn't it make sense that we get you in instead of your past due? That's just not a motivator.
And I'm curious about expansion of services. A lot of times general dentists get to a place where they're not doing some things. And so I'm wondering right now if now is not the time to be sending these things out that we could very well be doing in our own practices. And, I'm not trying to, diss the specialists or anything, but right now, but if we need to look at, they go to a specialist and do that for 25% more of the fee than what we charge, and we could do it. And our production patient goes up on the doctor's side to protect, hey, we have openings in hygiene, but if my doctor production per patient goes up, I can compensate for low patients in hygiene. So think about what are you sending out that you can actually do in your practice, and how can you get there if you're not there right now? Like dental implant surgeries, So I know, Dave, you got 2 young doctors. You could say, go do that. Go learn how to do that. They're not already doing it. I know Dr. Slava, she's got associate doing that right now, doing the implant stuff. So Dental Implant Machine is a marketing company that I have a client use. He had the first week using them, I think it's $2,300 a month. He had $20,000 in treatment plans. And then his partner had $60,000 in their first week, his buddy in another practice, just the first month from the marketing cases they got from using that company. So it's called Dental Implant Machine. I've never used it myself. I just have one client and one friend of a client that uses it, and it's been phenomenal. If you do implant surgeries, though, that's the key.
Yeah, right. Yeah. You have to be able to do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
or Invisalign would be an expansion of services. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, what were you going to say?
What was that company? Dental what? The
implant? Dental Implant Machine? Yeah.
implant machine. Okay.
Yeah, they basically they create a website for you, and then they create a video and says, I'm Dr. Pierre's marketing guy, and it's them talking, right? And it's a YouTube video, and they're your marketing rep. And then it's, you ever gone to a website where it says enter your name, Eric, push enter, and it goes to another page. Put your last name, Vickery, enter. Are you interested in implants? Yes. How many implants? And it keeps going through, and they know the more times you go through that process, the more likely you are to schedule an appointment. It's a capture marketing. So they're capturing your information. They go from there. So if you just Google dental implant machine, they're going to be right at the top. They're pretty good at what they do.
So the thing is, Eric, this is excellent. And then there's some phone recordings that we listened to recently.
Don't throw anybody under the bus, though.
Nope, not throwing anybody under the bus. Where patients calling in from marketing, and the people answering the phone it's not anybody on this call.
No, not this. Not. Yeah, that office is not here.
The team members answering the phone are just taking those marketing dollars and they're going right down the tube.
Yeah.
Because the patients are calling, and how much is an implant? I'm calling for my free implant consult. No, we don't have any openings. I'm sorry. No, we're busy that day. We're full. Thanks. Bye. Yeah. I mean, it's just, so if you're going to spend marketing dollars, please train your phone skills.
You'll see on these marketing companies, they'll say, we sent you 20 calls, and on my tracker, it'll say we scheduled 1 or 2 or 5. It's like, well, what happened to the other 10 to 15 of them? What's happening? And we just aren't confident in our skill set. Abby got rear-ended a couple years ago, and I had to call a lawyer about this. And Paula, I was so impressed with the way she took me through the phone call process of asking me the questions. It was precise. They are a law firm. If she screws it up, they are screwed. They will get sued, right? I think too often we don't hold the standard at which it needs to be. And if we're loosey-goosey on our standards, then we're opening ourselves up to lose patients. We should hold ourselves to the standard of those lawyer offices, how they do it. They've been trained to do it phenomenally. We need to train our administrative team and say, I expect this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we lose a lot there, and it's a catch-22. The team says they're too busy.
Yeah.
And they're stressed, and that shows up on the phone when they answer, and they're like, oh no, another new patient. I don't have time for this. And they just give short answers. And the patient is in control of the whole phone call. And that's what we've been hearing. We've listened to 5, 6 recordings, and the patient's in control of the whole thing. And the team members just answering questions. They're not leading them anywhere. So how many of you record your calls at the office? Yeah, I know.
We records.
Yeah? Yeah, it does. Weave does the recordings for you. If you have Weave, they're being recorded if you check that box. Some do it just from a promo from a website, right, Eric, that they're only recording the calls that are coming in from that. But it's important, I mean, for legal reasons, too, to have calls recorded incoming and outgoing, so that if there's ever any question, I've had this come up, your team member did not tell me that. And you go back and listen to the recording, and yes, they did. So that's how I present it to the team as a benefit is this will protect you when your patients say you didn't tell you something. Phone skills, super important, which
absolutely.
We've got our dental Zoom camp coming up, don't we? So many new team members out there right now.
Man, 2020 has been a kick in the pants, man. I tell you what, so many new team members in every office. If you haven't had one new team member in your office, at least, then consider yourself lucky. I mean, you are blessed to keep the same team because it has been a challenge everywhere. So look at the names on here. I think Dr. Yamamoto, actually, I don't think he had any new team members. I don't know if Wes, if you're there, but
yeah, no changes.
Impressive.
Back
because everybody loves you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they'd tell you that, but I've been very lucky, very blessed, and everybody's working together well. But it's been just like with everybody else. It's been a really difficult 12 weeks, and we're starting to see a little bit fraying at the end. So I'm trying
Burnout.
to reel them back in. I'm going to have some departmental meetings, and I want to see if there's any different ways we can deal with COVID in the office, and just to communicate. And
you bring up a good point. What we don't want to do is work so hard that we burn out and then we lose more team members because they don't like the pace. And we've got to be really careful now. And supply and demand, right? If you think about how that works, supply and demand, we have a surplus because there's a backlog, but that surplus is only going to last so long. And if you overwork yourself now, you're going to be twiddling your thumbs come October. So don't feel so much pressure to slam all the patients in. More dentistry per visit, longer appointments, be in control of your schedule, ideal schedule. So Wes, do you have any ideas, suggestions, or even challenges about recession proofing?
This may sound pretty stupid, but I hadn't really even thought about it. Things are moving along pretty well. We just had our meeting with you, Eric, Monday, and Robin seems to be in pretty good control of our hygiene
in October,
which is great. We're going to talk to Dave Peer about Dent Advantage. I think that's a wonderful idea. So Eric's been talking to me a lot about it, Dave, and I think it's fabulous. It's not for everybody, but you're going to keep your patients, and that's what it's all about. So I think it's a fabulous idea. Paula just gave me a great idea. We're always working to do patient activation. That's what I call it, Paula.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so I'm trying to incentivize the team members to do more of that. So when they talk to patients that have had treatment on the books and they haven't come in, that if they get on the phone and talk to them, talk to the patient, that I'm going to give them, if it's treatment over $500, I'll give them 1% of the treatment plan. So I get hygienists talking to patients about Invisalign.
That's a great idea.
So and then other people get on the phone, talk to patients about bridge work or implants that need to be done, and I want to give them money, but they have to work for it.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Paul and I have a client that we share where he keeps talking to us about two things. He keeps saying, I want a bonus plan and I need my hygiene schedule filled in October. And we keep saying, okay, we gave you what we call what is it, Paula, a quick bonus plan or an easy bonus plan where
special project.
Yeah, special project bonus plan, where you fill the hygiene schedule, you get paid. We set it up and everything. He keeps saying the same thing. I don't think he liked my answer, Paul. I don't think he liked what I gave him.
I don't know. Well, I gave him the same answer today, so we'll see.
I saw that.
I have another. I want Dr. Allgood to share something here. This just kind of popped for me. Recession proofing. Dr. Allgood, what do you recommend for? You've got your dental practice, but you have alternative sources of income besides dentistry. What do you do?
Passive income.
What do I do? I think
tell us. You're in the dark.
In the dark. He's like one of those. He's anonymous.
Here I'm back.
What are some ideas for alternative sources of income outside of dentistry?
Paula, that's an excellent question. And I don't know that what I've done is for everyone.
Well, that's okay. We just want to know your story.
My story is I have done a lot in the past, as you know, with developing real estate. And right now I'm looking at, of course, I think we talk about retirement and all, but having things set up for retirement, and it can be the same thing for your dental practice, as far as having rental properties where people are paying you and you're not having to do any work for it.
Mhm.
And that, but you have to make an investment and all. It's but it's a challenge, and I think I started doing this because of a lot of things that my father had done, and I can't. It's in my blood now. I'm retired, but I bought a piece of property last week over in Edisto Beach that had been damaged by Hurricane Matthew 4 years ago. So now I've got that project I've got to work on. So I think one of the main things that we have to do to prepare ourselves for any type of event, such as what we had in 2008 and what we're having now, is don't overextend yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go buy cars. Well, that's a good-looking Mercedes sitting over there, but it's interest-free for 5 years. Well, you still got to pay that. So
Cash
make
is
sure
king.
that you don't overextend yourself.
Yeah.
Get your house paid off.
How many months of overhead do you keep on hand, or do you recommend
Savings.
that we keep on hand?
I would keep on hand at least 3 months.
Yeah. 6. Yeah.
6. I don't know. I think what I kept on hand was like $100,000.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, but the other thing
But you
is,
had really low overhead, so.
well, it was pretty good. But we have to, when we look at recession proof, and we're talking about getting these patients in, but one of the things that you have to do is take care of the patients that you have.
Yes.
And that's very, very critical. And I think over the years, and we hadn't been talking about that much, is doing the quality care of that patient that we have,
Yes.
doing the 5-star, the Ritz-Carlton. And if you do that, you're not going to lose your patients.
That's your acres of diamonds.
It's
If y'all
going to
remember
be-
that story. Dave, you know that story.
Amen. And it's going to be recession proof because of the way you're taking care of the people that you have.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that reminds me of a Google review I read on a practice one time. They made a comment. This practice is more interested in new patients than the ones who've been loyal to them for years.
Yeah. You got to take care of the ones that you have. They'll keep coming back. And the other thing is that they will be a great referral source for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's and that's what we have to look at. I mean, you can go through all these Google reviews and all this stuff, but if you're not taking care of the people that you already have, then you're going to be getting in trouble. Because you have to have a new patient flow all the time.
Yeah, that's right.
To paraphrase the saying, get patients new, but keep the old. The one is silver, the other gold.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I mean, and when you think about the BLT, the believability, likability, trust, when you have an existing patient who already believes in you, likes you, trusts you, it's easier to move forward with treatment with them than it is a new patient who doesn't trust you yet. What gets in the way is our approval addiction. We are hesitant to approach that existing patient about unscheduled treatment or doing something that isn't even on their treatment plan. Have you thought about, your goals for your dental health? Let's discuss that. We haven't talked about that in 5 years or 10 years. And
Paula, may I say one more thing, and then
Yeah.
I'll be quiet.
Yeah.
It's one of the things like what you're talking about, and it's like what Pete Dawson used to talk about, is asking your patient, if we can do something where you can keep your teeth for the rest of your life, would you like to hear about it?
yeah, that's good.
And
Simple.
so
Perfect.
it's pretty simple. And that's the old patient. And number one thing that we have not talked about at all is keeping up the quality continuing education.
Yeah.
And that's not learning how to get in 40 or 50 new patients a month.
That's
It's,
right.
Can't handle that. Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
care of what they have going on, using the intraoral camera,
Oh, preach.
You know, we talk about, oh, we're getting a lot of new cracks. We ain't getting a lot of new cracks. Those cracks
They've
have
been
been
there.
there. We just ain't been looking for them. Or we've been afraid to tell the patient about it.
Mm-hmm.
The old approval addiction.
Approval addiction. I tell
So
you,
anyway,
approval addiction is something else. Oh man, we're just getting started.
you gave me a chance to talk.
I know, I did. You get me all excited. We're gonna have to pick some of this up on our dental Zoom camp, which is coming up. If you have new team members or want to have your whole team and do a refresher just to fill in on some of the skills, some of you are alumni of that program, and if you want to talk to us about it, we'll make a deal.
Yeah.
But remember that coming up Thursday, Friday, October 22nd, 23rd, and then we'll meet again the third Tuesday
In October.
in October.
We'll
Yes.
meet here and do this again. Yeah.
It's the 20th, I believe. Same week as the Zoom camp. So we're gonna be. Eric and I are busy, aren't we? The boom has happened. People are needy. People are excited, and we're seeing a lot of recovery. I had one doctor ask me, "I got all this extra cash. You think I should buy a car or pay off my student loans?" And I said, "How much overhead do you have in reserves?" Not very much.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
put it there.
Yeah. Once you have that reserve, then it's about debt reduction. Ace Gorig's a friend. He's a endodontist consultant up in Washington, and he does a phenomenal job. He was an admiral. He's amazing, and he's written 3 books. And he just sent me his 3rd book, and I have it. And on page 21, he talks about financial freedom and how to get there, and how they think, hey, if I maximize my 401k, that's the best thing. But he actually talks about a 28% return on money by doing the debt snowball technique, and how that's way more efficient with your money. Even on small interest rates. He's got he says it a lot more eloquently than I can. So,
All right.
remove the debt. Yeah.
This is good stuff. We'll have to pick up. I'd love to do some more case presentation.
Well, that's just it. I mean, what Andy was talking about, and you, Paula, if you get the new patient in, that's great. Now you got to make sure you're talking in a way that you get 80% of the people scheduling something, and scheduling at least 60% of the dollars that we present. If you're not getting 60% of the dollars that they're scheduling, then we're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
We're not approaching it correctly. So if you have a $5,000 new patient average treatment plan size, right, then they should be scheduling what, $3,000 of it?
Sure, or more.
And we have a tracker for that.
Yep, absolutely. All right.
All right.
Well, it was great being with everybody. Thanks for joining tonight.
Thank you.